today we are heading along the 2-tunnel cycle track. In about 2.5 miles time we're going to get to a tunnel where one of the toughest endurance races in the world is currently taking place. Until about 60 years ago this was a railway line called the Somerset and Dorset Railway that went from Wellow, back that way, to Bath. Now it's a cycleway that many people use to cycle, run and commute to Bath. But in about 2.5 miles time we're going to reach one of 2 tunnels, which is why it's called the 2 tunnels, and this is the longest tunnel. It's actually 1 mile long, and taking place in that tunnel right now is a 200-mile ultramarathon. The whole thing is completely contained within the tunnel, so you basically run one length, and that's 1 mile, back again, that's 2 miles. You do that 100 times, and that's the race. I don't know much about the race, but what I do know is it's called the tunnel. It's £250 to enter. The qualifier to do the race is you have to run at least one 100-miler, so it's not exactly easy to get into. The rules are that you can't wear headphones, you can't run next to each other because it's a publicly open tunnel, which is why I'm able to go through today. And that's pretty much it. You have to finish the race within 55 hours, so I think the cut-off is sometime today. So it started 2 days ago. So these athletes have been running since Friday, non-stop, because literally there isn't enough time to sleep to complete the race. So many of them won't have had any sleep at all. I'm pretty tired, I only had 6 hours sleep. These guys must be exhausted. I don't want to interfere with the race or anything, so we're just going to go as a spectator. We're going to go up, run up through the tunnel, going towards Bath, see what we can see in the tunnel. It's quite a mad concept. Can you imagine running 200 miles inside a tunnel? It's dark in there, as you'll see when we get there. It's dark, and halfway through they have these kind of eye things that play music. It's really bizarre. And at night time, when they turn the lights off, you need your head torch, that's it, because there's no light. So last year the event didn't take place, I don't know why, but I looked at the results from 2021 and only 14 people finished. So it gives you an idea of how tough this race is. So I have no idea how many people have entered this year. I'm guessing around 20 or 30. Be interesting to see how many finish. So this is what's left of the old Midford station, which was part of the Somerset and Dorset railway line. You can see the railway track used to go down here, and this was the platform. So the longest tunnel, which we're going to now, is 1 mile long. It's actually 1,660 metres, and the second longest tunnel is 400 metres. But with the longest tunnel, we've got a small one coming up now actually. So this is like a little mini tunnel, just to give you a taster. You see how dark it is? I think what's going to be like in the 1 mile long one. So the train drivers used to really struggle to get through. I've heard a story of, I think a driver did actually die once going through because of the smoke. The smoke got too bad and they suffocated. So we're just coming up to the tunnel now. And I can already see the race HQ tent. I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you just how dark the tunnel is. Morning. So that must be the toilet. And here we are, we're approaching this tunnel. And we're going to go in a few seconds, and you can see just how dark it is. So there's everyone's drink stations, you can't see any of this. Can you see just how dark it is? Okay, I'm going to stop and see if I can adjust my camera to get a better shot. The first part of the tunnel seems to leak a lot, so it's very wet, but the rest of it's quite dry. And when you get halfway, that's where you see those musical eye things. I don't know how bright this is, but I've got my torch on. And I've increased the ISO, but it's very dark in here. I can't see many competitors, so I'm not sure how many are still in. Well done. Okay, that was a competitor there. Just ran past someone who's taking part, so that guy must be exhausted. I mean, he's been running for 2 days. It's nuts. Well, not nuts, it's amazing, but I would never do that. And can you see that this tunnel just keeps going? There's no wind in here. It's not too cold, not too warm, it's a consistent temperature. And it's quite peaceful, actually. It's quite a nice place. I can imagine it's, in some respects, quite meditative to be in here. Quite zen-like. The other thing is, going up this way towards Bath is actually slightly uphill the whole way, and then coming back is slightly down. Here we are, there's another person. Well done, mate, you're doing really well. Okay. Okay, that's 3 people I've seen so far. I can definitely see their numbers. They can't go very far because it's only in the tunnel. So at some point we're going to come across all of them. And I do actually quite enjoy the musical eyes that I'm going to try and find in a minute. But I can imagine after 200 miles, so you can imagine years ago when trains used to come through here, what it would have been like. The driver wouldn't have had all these lights and the visibility would have been 0 and the smoke and everything coming in. I think they had to wear cloths over their face to stop themselves from inhaling too much smoke. Well done, mate, well done. There's another person. Okay, so that's at least 4. Still, not very many people for a race. They got markings along this tunnel every 100 meters, and it tells you in both directions how far it is until you get to the other side. Right, so there's another 200 meters, and we've reached the end of the tunnel. So you can see just how laborious this race is. Get to the end, turn around, come back. Get to the end, turn around, come back. Repeat 200 times. Well done, doing really well. There's another competitor. So there's about 5 or 6 people, because I'm at the end now. Right, well, there's the end of the tunnel. Back in daylight again, but not for these competitors. These guys stay inside the tunnel. So here we are, we're at the north end of the tunnel. Lovely, quiet day today. It's a bit cast over, but it's nice and quiet. But I've just come through the whole way, and I know it's dark, but I can only see about 5, maybe 6 competitors. That tells you how tough it is. Well done. Well done, mate, you're doing really well.
people are left in there?
7 still.
7.
Oh, 7. Oh, I counted 6. Oh, okay.
Did you run? You were.
No, I'm doing the timing.
Did you have any media down here looking at it? Or?
Points West were down on Friday for the start. There was mutterings of BBC Bristol coming down at some point today, but the thing is, it's so tricky to gauge when people are going to be finishing.
Well, yeah, but you can come in.
Because the wheels could fall off yet.
Yeah.
Some of them. You know, they've still got. It's not an insignificant distance. After
So what are they
they've
up
done.
to approximately now?
So
then?
Dave is the leader. He's still looking really good. He just wants to get it done.
I think they all want to get it done, don't they?
Dave's
Yeah,
got 24,
he's loving it.
Yeah, 24 miles to go for Dave. 22 when he crosses the mats next.
So that's 11.
It's probably going to be any time soon. 32 for Agnieszka. She would be our second ever female finisher.
Wow.
One woman left in, yeah?
Yeah. No,
And
two females left in.
2 women and
Oh.
5 guys,
Yeah.
but only 1 female finisher ever.
Yeah.
I think I read about her on.
Mandy last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was not last time. Sorry, I keep saying that.
Yeah, it didn't happen last year, did it? I
No, we had. So it got complicated. It happened in 2020, 2 weeks before we went into
yeah.
lockdown.
Yeah.
And then obviously 2021 couldn't happen in March because of lockdown, so it was shoved back to September. That was a nuts September, October actually, because we had this Long Last, which is 254 miles through Wales, and then Track 100 2 weeks later. And then we didn't do it last year on purpose because we did the 3 peaks on foot last year for the runners, and it was too big. That's too big an event.
Turning into
Yeah.
This is relatively speaking quite a small event for you to put on. Then,
We
is it?
purposely keep it that way. We've got the agreement with Sus Trans is that there's a maximum number of runners because obviously it's open to the public.
So what's the what was the field this year?
32 started. I think we
32.
have 35 entered, and that's kind of around the max. And then you always work on the fact there's going to be DNS
Yeah.
through injury or can't be bothered or what on earth do I do that for?
Yeah. But they've got to qualify.
It's an application-based process. It's not an enter now-based process. Yeah.
But they've got to have shown that they've run 100.
At least 100 is a qualifier, but they have to submit a running CV as well
Oh,
So
wow.
100 over what period of time?
within the cut-off for the race.
Is he the leader?
No.
It's hard to tell when you're in the tunnel who's actually competing or not, because until you get close, you just see somebody running.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're wearing a number or not.
But if you're telling me they're still running, they haven't done it hard enough yet.
But has anyone, started seeing things yet? And,
Oh, yeah, night 2 is always brilliant for hallucinations. I haven't found out what they've been yet, but I know people have been seeing stuff.
They turn those bloody things, the music off.
Yeah, that goes off at about 5-ish, 6-ish.
Yeah, but it's on the rest of the time, isn't it?
It comes back on in the morning, yeah, so during the course of the day.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
I mean, they just annoy me even when I'm cycling through it. I mean, imagine if you had to go past
Yeah.
that 200 times.
Yeah.
Horrible.
How you doing?
Alright, how many have you got left?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
I know, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm the opposite end of the extreme.
Right.
I do 800 metres, that's more.
800 metres?
Yeah, or 1500, 800, yeah, completely different. Oh, Dan, you're doing amazing.
How you doing? Feeling alright?
Cheers. Well, I've just come out of the tunnel, and actually, even only been in there for about 10 minutes, my eyes have to adapt to the light. So yeah, well, there we are. Now from the other end, if you were coming down and you didn't know about this event, you'd have no idea what those 5 or 6 people that are left are going through. There are 2 women left in the race, 6 altogether, 4 men, 2 women, and so far since the event started, only 1 woman's ever finished. So hopefully the 2 ladies will hopefully finish within the 55-hour cutoff, which would, I guess, be a record of some sort. But it's an amazing feat of endurance. Nothing else I can really say about that. I'm not an ultra-marathon runner, I'm a middle distance runner, and my 8-mile long run, which is plenty for me, is only 4% of the entire distance of that race, to put it into some perspective. I hope you enjoyed that unique insight into a very, very niche, very low-key, very hard, probably one of the toughest races in the world, race, which is happening just back that way, with no spectators, basically no support, just your legs and some water. It's crazy. Anyway, kudos to them because they are amazing just to even get this far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.